haven't posted in 4 months. Here you go. Okay, this is my G29 H-shifter. It comes with a steering wheel and pedal set, and right now it's got the stock knob on it, and I don't really like it. It works for what I do, but I want something on it that's more like a sequential shifter, more of a handle, give me something really grippy. So I'm gonna make one out of wood with a jigsaw and some sanding belt. Keep it really simple. Probably gonna keep it unfinished because I'm too lazy to finish it. And of course, I finally will myself to film something, and it starts raining outside, so I took that as a sign not to film. So I filmed anyways because I don't really care. So in the meantime, I'm going to play with this RC car I found. It's pretty clear that I'm not the best RC car driver, but that's not what this video is about. So once I realized that I was having too much fun and that I could make it out to the shed without getting soaked, that's where I went. I also managed to break my tripod. There wasn't a lot of option for wood, but I found a smaller piece that would have been easier to take material off of versus the 2x4, so that's what I went with. Here you can see me draw the general shape I was going for, but it kind of just ended up looking like a weird dildo. The next thing I did was remove the original knob from the shifter. The only thing inside is a screw that takes a Phillips head, and then you can remove the original knob. The rubber bands on the shifter are for a DIY sequential. The next thing I did was measure the depth at which I'd have to drill a hole. Once I had an idea of how deep I'd have to cut it, I marked it with a pencil and then moved it up just a little bit, so if it wasn't deep enough, I'd know where to cut it next. I then put my hand on it so I could get an idea of how long it would have to be for my hand to fit comfortably. I had to make sure that I had enough room to cut down on if I made any mistakes. At this point, I cut down the wood to size and drilled a hole in it that would fit over the shifter knob. All of it was for nothing because I'm an idiot and screwed up and cut the hole wrong. So I restarted, and here we are. On this new piece of wood, I started by marking where my fingers would lay on the piece of wood. This way I could create the curvature that would fit my hand perfectly. The next thing I did was pull out the vise so I could have something to hold the wood while I cut it. I think if you haven't already, you should definitely look into buying yourself a pair of these vise pads. They're super handy when gripping delicate materials like wood or glass or meth. I started by using the smaller DPI blade and then ended up using the higher DPI blade for the finer cut where my fingers would rest. My stupidity has once again led me into more problems. I forgot to check how deep the blade was going, and it was not going through all of the wood. I put back on my lower DPI blade so that it would cut all the way through the wood and I could slim it up. That way, the higher DPI blade would cut through so I can make the fine cuts. You can see here that I'm slimming the wood. Here you can see what it looks like after I've made the bigger cuts. After about 30 dreadful minutes of getting my eyes burned by sawdust, I finally finished the heavy sanding and moved on to the light hand sanding. At this point I had already finished the light sanding and I was ready to move on to drilling holes. So I put some tape onto the drill so I know how deep to cut, and well, I drilled a hole. After drilling the hole, I test fitted it and the hole was too small. So I had a mental debate on whether I should try and sand out the inside, wiggle the drill around and make the same mistake I made the first time, or up the size of the drill bit and cut another hole. I'd been arguing with myself for about 10 minutes and had multiple breakdowns when I finally decided that I should just drill a new hole with a bigger bit. I drilled out the hole and test fitted it again, and it fit pretty good. It was still a little loose, so I tried to figure out how I could keep it in there. I decided to use the factory screw that came with the first stock knob and drill the hole in the front of the new shifter knob so that I could tighten it down on that flat spot. I seem to have lost the footage from this, so you'll just see the end result, but all I did was take a countersink bit and drill it all the way through. I think everything came out alright. Everything went just about as planned. I think I might stain it in the future, maybe a black or a bronze of some kind. Feels a lot better than the stock knob. I think it looks a little better. And there you can see the screw that I put in the front, which was from the stock knob. The fit is not as tight as I would have liked it, but it's tight enough for me to play around with. I think I might also wood burn the gear locations on the top, like on the stock knob. Well, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and maybe learned something from it. It would be awesome if you guys left a comment saying what you liked and what you didn't like, so that way I can do nothing about improving the YouTube channel, because again, I don't really care. And if you enjoyed this video, why don't you give it a like? And if you didn't like it, give it a like so I know that you didn't. It would also be cool if you would let me know in the comments below what you think about this kind of post-commentary video. If you guys liked it, just let me know and maybe I'll do more in the future, and if you don't like it, I'll still do more in the future. Well, that's it. See you in the next one.